Hello, this is Walter Langston. I'm doing this little history video talking about Route 211, which was built in the 1930s. Come think of the original road that connected a lot of these towns like Mount Hope, Oak Hill, and Sulson, and all this stuff was built in the 1850s, known as the Canal Turnpike. What's that, and I'll do another time, but this is old Route 211, built in the 1930s during the Great Depression. Theodore Roosevelt, was, a lot of people know as Thomas Roosevelt, the president at the time. He actually done these projects all over the country to help put people back to work. And 211 followed Old Beckley Road, which is one of the original lot parts of Old Beckley Road as far as the original Canal Turnpike. And they paved that. And then downtown Mount Hope, which is Route 211, which then come up through here. Before the 1930s, there wouldn't really, a lot of these towns like Mount Hope and Oak Hill and Fayetteville and places like that, there wasn't any paved roads to drive on. Well, they might have been paved in the towns themselves, because Mount Hope actually had brick-laid streets before 211 came through. Right over there is the bypass. I think I'll go down here and say the new bypass, Route 16, which was built in the 1950s. Down there's Route 16, which was built in the 1950s. They done a lot of blasting and stuff, and actually crossed the road through there. But before that, all traffic, if you want to go to Oak Hill, Fayetteville, you had to follow this road. This was the road. Although it dead ends up here, because when they done the blasting, they removed a lot of Route 211. So from from just past Mount Newmart, where the Family Dollar used to be, up to right over the hillside here in Mount Hope is parts of the original Route 211. Come think of it, there's a lot of projects. If you Google it, there's a lot of projects in the 1930s during the Great Depression to put people back to work. This is one of them, along with the apartment complex now staying terrace here in town. Of course, I'll name more later. I just want to focus on this because Jim Hilton, when he was a kid, he was growing up kid. There was no Route 16. I think he remembers them building it because he was growing up when they were building Route 16. I remember him talking about how all traffic goes down, all tractor trailers, all large trucks go through town. He told me about one guy that used to sit there and do this honking motion, this hand motion, have all the tractor trailers and trucks honk out, and so I went down Main Street. I forgot what he said the guy's name was. But if you want, this is the road from Beckley to Oak Hill in the 1930s, from 1930s to like the 1950s, there was no Route 19. There was no Route 16. This was the road. You can see it's not wide enough for two cars. Actually, it's a little bit wider than this, but back in those days, roads didn't have to be as wide because they didn't have large vehicles. But this is part of the original alignment. They put this through. Well, I was going to go down and watch that train go by, but not from my original vantage point. Oh well, back to the history thing. Down through here is part of it. Right there where our car went by, that's part of the original Route 211. Basically from this curve here up to I guess in front of Mount Newmart is the original 211, because I think there you had to turn up Old Beckley Road and follow that road. From there I'm lost. I don't know where the original Route 211 went from there. I just know it. Maybe it just started here in Mount Hope. You went Old Beckley Road, got that, and I don't know where the original roads went from Old Beckley Road. Old Beckley Road is part of the Canal Turnpike. It was built in the 1850s. From the 1850s until 1938, or the 1930s. I think, well, actually 1938 they built other projects. But it's very interesting because something to Google to learn all the projects that Theodore Roosevelt done. One of them was during the Great Depression that was interesting was the Hoover Dam. He started in Nevada in 1934 was the project he started there. And then the Golden Gate Bridge, I can't remember what year that project started, but here's where the original 211 went. Up until Route 16 was built in the 1950s. You came up through here, if you want to go to Mount Oak Hill, while I live on Broad Street, if I want to go to Fayetteville, pay my property taxes back in the 1930s or 1940s, I got on Main Street here. It was Route 211, go all the way, drive the car through here. But instead of up in here, which just did not exist at the time, I had to go up through there, go all the there and follow that road, which only I don't think it's quite half a mile of the original road. Route 211, most of it's gone. You got to follow it, which I think Route 16 follows close to the same path. It's not far off from the same path. They just changed it around a little bit to make it easier for people. But I'm gonna go down and get a car. Guess I walk down here and say part out of Route 16. But I figured I'd point that out because the new road is a lot easier to drive on than the old road, I guess. The hill thing is big. Well, they ain't as steep. I think some hills a little bit steeper, but not as bad. I will have to Google to find out if I can find out more of the original alignment. It's cool that Main Street Mount Hope's still part of the original alignment 211. Main Street started out as a dirt road back in the old days. Then it was brick. Then they put concrete down. Then they paved it. Then they, well, you got 2 or 3 layers of pavement and brick and then dirt. But I think that's why I'll sign off. I don't want the video too long.